Alright, he's back. He's back. Green Void came back to Earth. He's got those alien... He's got that alien tech.
We can't check his times or anything. Apparently. But.
Alright. So we got Green Void and Joshua. I'm gonna give him the alert. Let him know, and then we can talk about the thing. Yeah, hide spec.
Yeah,
for those that don't know, there's a HUD for the players on the right side of the screen. Alright, just to make sure they don't get the nerves. Alright, so they're both ready. We're going to start the countdown, then we can kind of elaborate on the map, the tier, any information that you guys need. We do have the chat open, so if you have any questions, we can try to answer them. There's a lot of time for us to inform you guys on what's going on if you are unfamiliar with what Surf is.
Okay,
right, we're
so
starting.
I couldn't find Green Void's rank, apparently he doesn't exist anymore, but I found him on the top list. He's rank 23, and Josh is rank 5 on this map. Apparently Green Void's timer is currently off.
Yeah, I had to type it to him. His timer was off. So
No,
he has to turn his timer on.
No, I think it's the server, because we can't check him either. I think he's broken.
Oh, okay.
Can we stop it?
Alright, give me a second here, guys. There's a little bit of a bug with the timer, so we're going to actually fix this before we go in. Because if Green Void doesn't have a timer, it's going to be very hard to tell what his times are. This map is extremely short.
There we go, he's back.
Alright.
He exists. And he can start times. Yep, he's good.
Alright. So both players in the start zone. I'm going to switch to the scene so you guys can see the stream. Everybody's ready? Alright. We'll start the event timer. And I will reset the HUD timer here in 15 seconds. Yeah, as the match is starting, you can kind of elaborate on what tier this map is and kind of how this map is an iconic map. Because the untrained eye might think this map is kind of dumpy looking, but why is it such a prominent map in the Surf community?
Okay, so this is the most completed map on Surf in Counter-Strike. It wasn't even this map to begin with. It used to be an old map which had a tally hop, which meant you could fall to the ground and you would gain a lot of speed and you would start your run from that. It was fixed in about, I'd say about 2011, 2012 with this map. And the big thing about this map is it was max velocity, and now it's not. It's got a max velocity speed of 10,000, which means they can go as fast as they'd like. And that's about it, really.
Yeah, it is one of the most highly competitive maps in all of Surf. As you said, there's... how many completions are there? It just showed.
15,000.
Yeah, there's 15,000 completions on this map in this server alone. This doesn't count all the CSGO servers out there, all the other Counter-Strike Source servers out there, TF2. Just this server, there's 15,000 completions on this map. So it's highly competitive. And, yeah, Joshua, go ahead.
So, to put that into perspective, the top 10, rank 10, is plus 0.34 of a second. That's it.
That is wild.
Oh no. Oh no.
Alright, come on.
Oh no.
Alright, Silverthing has lost his mind. No, he pressed a bind. You know, it's...
so...
Alright, Joshua's joining in with the bind spam. Untouched just gagged you. Alright.
Not even mad.
Well, to come back down to earth here, we're kind of
so Joshua has got a very good first time, plus 0.42 of.
Yeah, he is really, really fast.
That's rank 15.
This map is going to be really, really hard for Green Void to win, just because of how optimized this map is. And for those that are comfortable with it, which Joshua's very, very, it's obvious he knows exactly what he's doing. They're going to be able to push out those times, and yeah, that's pretty good. Being a full second ahead on a 30-second map is insane.
That's a top 10 time.
Yeah, that's wild. Green Void has a huge wall in front of him right now, but that's why we're doing a best of 3. Joshua might have this in the bag already, but you never know. And for those that are wondering, this is a tier 1 map. It is considered very, very easy. In fact, this might be one of the easiest maps to complete in all of Surf, but to do it optimally may be one of the hardest things to do in all of Surf, which is, you know, an interesting dichotomy. And I think that applies to a lot of maps that are lower tier. Yeah, Green Void's going to have to pull something out. And to kind of note on some certain fun facts about the players, Green Void actually has the highest sensitivity out of all of the players in Surf. You might be thinking, if you're not knowledgeable about Surf, or you just, yeah, if you don't know much about Surf, a lot of the top level players have extremely low sensitivities. For example, Saxton, who has the lowest sensitivity in this tournament, has a 3-foot 360. It takes him 3 feet across his entire mousepad to do a entire 360 in game. Yes, he definitely has the lowest sensitivity of anyone I've ever heard ever. So, but to kind of compare that, Green Void has around a 1 foot. And I'm sorry, I'm a filthy American using the imperial system, so you guys can do the calculations on what that means. But Green Void does have a fairly high sensitivity for a top level surfer. In fact, he might have the highest sensitivity of like the top 50 surfers in the world, which is around a 1 foot 360 if I didn't say that. And if you want to explain like how sensitivity affects Surf, Silver, you kind of have a low sensitivity. How does that come into play?
Smoothness is pretty much the only answer to it. Landing on things smoother, landing at the right angle easier, smoother. You're going to get more speed, you're going to be able to flick off easier, you're going to be able to land the next ramp easier. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, when it comes to surfing, especially on maps like this, it's about gaining and retaining speed. You'll probably hear that a lot. And in order to do that, you have to be smooth. If you are very quick with your movements and a little sharp, you will lose speed, because if your strafes are sharp, you'll just lose speed. That's just how the source engine works. But if you're smooth, you generate and gain speed. And as far as being smooth when it comes to being on a ramp and boarding a ramp, if you slide into a ramp very flush, you are also very smooth. I think Joshua is just phoning it in. Did he just call it in for a win? What's going on with Joshua?
I think he's done.
What is going on?
Neither of them are moving right now.
Hello, users. No, I'm not gonna troll them. For the sake of posterity, we're gonna let Green Void continue to run this, but Joshua put up a top 10 time, and as we stated, this map is extremely competitive, and it would probably take Green Void several hours to get a time on that rank. And it's not because Green Void is worse than Josh, it's just because he's not as experienced on this map. A lot of these matchups do come to map experience, so the bigger your map pool as a player will produce a better chance of going further in the tournament. So this is definitely not a Green Void map, but as we switch to the next map, which is the map Green Void picked, we might see the opposite, whereas Green Void might dominate and Josh might struggle.
What is the second map anyway?
The second map is actually Surftronic.
Ooh, and yes, we were talking about this. It's a very strange choice. This might be the biggest contrast in maps that we'll have the entire tournament. Like this map, an extremely smooth map where you have to be very smooth and precise, and Surftronic, a tier 5 map, which is one of the hardest maps in the map pool for this tournament. I think
a crazy amount of strafes.
I just realized why he's done it. Joshua hasn't even got a PR on that map.
Really?
He must have done his research and gone, that would be a good map.
Oh my god. That's a genius pick if that's the case.
That's a big play. That's a big play right there. What's the third map? Let's check that out as well.
Yeah, the Tiebreaker map is actually Surf Purgatory again.
Oh god.
For those that don't know, the map pool was picked by the players. Each player picked 3 maps to add to the overall map pool, and then before each match, players picked 2 maps each, and then the tiebreaker, or 1 map each, excuse me, and then the tiebreaker was a random map in the map pool. Essentially, there's a little bit more nuance to it, but suffice to say, it's not as important to know.
So for the next 2 maps, Green Void has the better times. Well, one of them he's done the map, and the other one he has a better time.
All right.
So this could be interesting.
Yeah, this could be very interesting. So it's kind of garbage time right now. We're gonna let Green Void see if he can pull out the miracle, because honestly, if he can, like, Joshua might be screwed. Especially since he's not moving.
Everyone in the chat is discussing how Joshua's probably just watching a video on Surftronic right now.
Yeah, what is
That's
he
why
doing?
he's not here.
The timer is still going. And for those that may have tuned in, Joshua is way ahead of Green Void right now. And that is actually a good assumption. Whoever said that in chat, he might be like researching the next map. Tronic is not an easy map to just join and complete. If you don't know what Tronic is, you will know what Tronic is shortly. It is... There's a lot of strafing involved. Lots of spinning. Lots of weird B-hops and things that catch you.
Joshua's very simply just put in the chat, I'm losing this. Can we call it now?
We'll see. We'll see. But with that said, Joshua is almost assuredly going to take this first map here. Oh yeah, Green Void's kind of messing around
plus
here.
0.8 now, yeah.
But I do like how Green Void is gonna try. He's gonna try it. He has... Okay. Is he gonna keep going? Yeah, he can try. For those that don't know, the timer is up, but since Green Void is in a run, he can continue it, but he just seems to... He'll call it there. All right. So we're gonna give the point to Joshua. He's up 1-0 in this best of 3. We're gonna go to map... Oh no, what's Tronic? Thank you very much. All right, Joshua, come on now. All right, how many people are leaving? Please tell chat. Please tell Joshua to stop. He's losing his mind right now. Thank you. All right, we're going to Tronic. Joshua up 1-0. He wins his own map. Green Void. This is Green Void's map.
Green Void is definitely the one to watch now.
Well, Joshua's still loading in.
He's probably downloading the map.
Is not ready? Give me time to complete it. No. No, that's not happening. Okay. All right. Joshua is a little bit of a troll. You know what? Everybody is, even me. I can't just label someone as a troll. It's just unfair.
Now I'm confused.
Yeah. All right, we're starting. Joshua put a sad face on the wall there, and we are going to start. Green Void. This is his map. We're going to watch him. And as you can see, this map is a little bit different than the previous map. There's a lot more strafing.
This map has an insane amount of shortcuts as well. It would be nice to see what Green Void actually does. Oh, hide spec.
For those that don't know, this world record, which is actually Sinza's world record, who is going to be playing later in the tournament, is considered to be one of the best world records in all of Surf. I believe it's a 2-second gap between rank 1 and rank 2, and this map is very short, so 2-second differential is crazy. And as Silverthing just mentioned, there's pretty much shortcuts in every little section of this map.
Yeah, I mean, if you just watch Green Void, you see his time, he's already +3. You wouldn't have thought he'd done anything wrong.
Yeah, and honestly, if Green Void just gets a completion, it might be good enough. I don't think he needs to go for anything crazy, and I think he knows that. This is a very hard map. especially for a tournament like this. We didn't allow any tier 6 maps in the tournament because they're just too difficult to have time constraints for. But this is tier 5, and for those that don't know, tier 5 is difficult. We're gonna re-explain what tiers are fairly often, so I apologize if that gets a little repetitive, but it is fairly important to contextualize how difficult something is. This is a he just did a shortcut, didn't he? By accident. To contextualize how difficult the map they are playing is. So yeah, tier 5, it's difficult. Tier 1 was the last map, and that is easy. So yeah, the higher the tier, the harder it is. It goes all the way up to 6, and we're on a tier 5 map right now. And it does seem like Green Void knows the shortcuts. I do like how he's using that B-hop. You can definitely skip that B-hop, and in that tube that he just failed in, you can actually land in the tube and it won't reset you, instead of just flying through the tube by itself, which makes the next part significantly harder. I'm kind of hoping for Green Void's sake, or just the player's sake, that they don't really go for too many shortcuts on this map, because there's a lot of them, and pretty much all of them are extremely difficult.
The fact is, he doesn't need to do any of them, really. He knows that Joshua hasn't got a PR.
But yeah, as the rules state, if neither player completes the map, they both get eliminated. No, I'm just kidding. They they play until someone completes the map. So yeah, I don't think that will ever happen, but if it does, that's the rule. Play until they complete the map. So hopefully we're not here all day. I don't think we will be. As you can see, Green Void has been screwing up, but he's been getting very, very, very close to the end of the map, like 2 ramps away from beating the map. So another interesting note that you mentioned right before we switched to the map was this is not Green Void's map. He did not add this to the map pool. This is someone else's map. So Green Void's using some very good tactics here against Joshua to kind of guarantee that he gets a map win by picking a map that Joshua has not completed rather than picking a map that he put in the map pool himself.
Yeah, not only that, the next map could actually be either of them, to be honest, given their times. So when it comes down to the tiebreaker, it's anyone's game by that point.
And I guess as Green Void goes through the map, we can kind of point out some of the shortcuts that he's smartly avoiding. There are so many shortcuts in this map. It might be hard to point them out, but a lot of the B-hops on this map you can skip. And if you don't know what a B-hop is, it's basically when you bounce off the ground. Right there, you could skip that thing that he just bounced off of, but doesn't have to. Same with this part. You can kind of skip that first one.
And then there's like a water here.
Yep. But yeah, for those that don't know, that green tube is actually water, and it's an interesting surf mechanic that mappers put on their maps, because when you enter water, you actually float upwards. So the water is there to make that next part a little bit safer.
Yeah, it's only if you hold space that you'll go upwards, but yeah. Same mechanic. Green Void's struggling quite a bit at that point.
Yeah, I kind of want to switch to Joshua and see what he's up to. It looks like Joshua is playing the map even more safe, but it's pretty apparent that he is not...
He just doesn't know it.
He doesn't know the map. So cheeky pick from Green Void here. And kind of contextualize the player ranks here. Joshua is one of the top ranked players in the world, and Green Void is also, but Joshua is, I feel like a few more ranks higher than Green Void. I think Green Void's rank, yeah,
13.
20s or something.
Yeah. Josh is
Yeah.
quiet.
Oh, 13. Wow. Okay.
Oh,
But yeah, Joshua has been ranking up a lot recently. He's kind of been like an up-and-coming surfer as far as like rank goes within the past year. I guess both of them really. They're both very, very young.
Greenwood's been around for much longer than Joshua, though. I think fairly certain anyway. Anyway,
Yeah, and
I
I
just
believe.
watched Joshua fail a run by just putting a binded face into the chat, so that was fun.
But yeah, both players still not. Neither of them have a completion. There's 3 minutes left. So it might come down to just whoever beats this map.
Joshua's getting quite far, but he doesn't. No, didn't know where to go.
I'd have to say the pressure's on Green Void right now. Like this was his like sneaky pick, and it's you gotta beat the map for it to work, right? Oh man, he just got ramp bugged twice.
He's giving Joshua enough time to learn the map.
Yeah.
At this point.
And there's a lot of terminology that we're going to be using. So if you don't know what we're talking about as far as like acronyms or like terminology, lingo, whatnot, go ahead and ask in the chat. We'll try to let you know. Maybe someone in chat will let you know. But yeah, we just mentioned ramp bug. Like, what is that?
That's weird. Because that can be the mapping or that can be just the source engine.
Well, what is it for those that don't know? Like,
it's something that's not supposed to happen. It's just going to stop you dead on the ramp or slow you down when you've done really nothing wrong.
Yeah, so very infrequently you'll see a player sliding on a ramp just normally and then they just completely stop, and it's called a ramp bug. Basically something to do with the clipping of the player and the clipping of the ramp colliding in the wrong way, causing the player to just kind of stand on the ramp instead of slide on it. I think this part right here is Green Void's on.
It's very known for it.
But I don't think there's too many other parts on this map that it's known for.
No, the worst parts are definitely where ramps are just vertical.
Mm-hmm.
Well, vertical going into a smooth ramp at the bottom. That's where you're most commonly ramp bug.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, when it comes to surf, this actually can happen on any ramp. But some ramps are way more susceptible to it, as Silverthing just mentioned. If the ramp is more vertical, the chances of it happening is extremely high.
That, or if there's just a actual hole, like from when it was mapped. If there was just a mistake in the mapping.
Mm-hmm. We got 1 minute left.
No completions.
No completions. When the timer goes up, I'll inform the players that whoever completes the map first wins. Unless you want to throw that in the chat real quick.
No, I'd rather hit my microphone.
Yeah, Green Void is a little caught up in this one section right here. The spin after the bunny hop here is proving to be very difficult for him, which it is. It's a difficult part.
This could...
I didn't even know you could enter that. I think he's going to complete it. No way. Green Void at the very end with 10 seconds left. Oh my god. Joshua's standing still, so that's it. Green Void clutches it out. And we are tied 1-1 again. I'm fully expecting to see a lot of tiebreakers on the first round here. So 2 matches so far, Silverthing, and we are on our tiebreaker, second tiebreaker.
What? Oh, I've already forgotten what it is. What's the tiebreaker?
Surf Purgatory.
Right,
We're playing Purgatory.
That's why I wanted to forget it. I get it now.
So yeah, we're playing this map again. For those that don't know, the map pool actually is fairly substantial. It's just kind of by happenstance that we're playing this map twice in, what, 6 maps? So
yeah,
you can kind of see how the players approach it. Alright, looks like both players are in the server. And I'm waiting for their go and we'll get started.
Green Void has a 2-second faster PR. So not as much as the first one, but he definitely has the advantage.
Joshua has given up? Okay. Alright, hides back. Apparently you have to type this every time. I'll have to remember that. So yeah, Green Void has the advantage here. He has the higher rank on the map. Coming in the clutch to tie it up. He has the lower rank overall. Joshua is the higher rank. But Joshua is definitely known to be overly dramatic about almost everything. So you never know.
GG, game over. He'll be fine.
But yeah, these are the young guns. The young guns of the surf community. It's pretty interesting to see the diverse pool of players that we were able to get for this tournament. We have a lot of players that have been around for like, what? How long has Sinza been around? 10 years, maybe?
Much longer than me, yeah. Like,
he's been around forever, whereas we have Josh and Green Void that probably started surfing like 3 years ago. And in the grand scheme of things, of top players, that's... I wouldn't say that's new, but that's not necessarily like super mega long to be a top player. For those in chat that are wondering, most top players have been around for at least 2 years. The quickest people have really gotten world records on KSF is like 1 year. And usually it takes longer for people to get good enough.
Usually they're coming from a background that's known for it. Like Rain, for example, he came from rocket jumping, didn't he?
Yeah, like Team Fortress 2 rocket jumping.
Pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
But he already had that movement sort of down.
Yeah, that's an actually interesting discussion point. There's a lot of like cool game modes in a lot of source games, such as TF2 rocket jumping, that have elements that do transfer over pretty nicely to surf, such as bunny hopping, KZ climb, KZ maps, and of course TF2 rocket jumping.
And in the case of Crashfort, speedrunning Half-Life 1.
Yeah, he's not in the tournament, but he's actually considered to be one of the best players of all time. And he came from speedrunning a different... Is that a Source Engine game? I don't think it is, right?
Well, it's Gold Source.
It's like a Gold Source, yeah, old one. But so if you have experience in Source games, surfing might come fairly easy to you, especially if you understand what... we gotta remember to say what tier the map is.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is a tier 2 map.
There we go. No,
oh,
it's
tier
not.
3. Really? I'm surprised. Some of these tiers are a little odd to me. I would say this is tier 2, but it's tier 3, so it's about middle of the road. Intermediate level surfers can beat it. But obviously, when it comes to top level surfers,
everything's tier 6 when you're going for world record.
Yeah, that's actually a very good analogy. Pretty much, if you're going for a world record, every map is tier 6. But if you're just trying to complete it, which in a lot of cases during this tournament, players might just be going for just regular completion. So the harder maps, like we just saw on Tronic, which is a tier 5 map, just getting a completion is good enough to win the round.
Green Void looks like he's going to get his first PR. Which means personal record, by the way. Got him.
The thing is, there's a lot of lingo and terminology that we take for granted in the surf community, so I think it's probably best that we keep reiterating it.
Yeah.
You guys can make fun of us in the chat if we're being too repetitive. I don't care. Yeah, Green Void sets the time.
It's an alright time. It's
about 3.5 seconds.
Faster than Josh's PR.
Oh, really?
Apparently
okay. So. To me, that tells me that Josh has never really grinded this map at all. And, yeah, grinding a map essentially means just playing the map a lot until you get a good time. Generally, it takes a few hours to get for top players to get times that they want. And, you know, Joshua doesn't really have that much time right now.
He's under pressure.
Yeah, he's under the pressure. So some of the shortcuts he might not be able to figure out. He may be aware of what the shortcuts are on the map, but to do them properly, you kind of have to figure them out. He's got 5 minutes. Green Void looking good.
I mean, to be fair, he did call this on map 1. But
That is true. That's what I don't know. I don't know if that's like some sort of psychological thing, but like Josh puts himself in a position. It's like, oh hey, I won, or I wasn't wrong. You know, those are the only two things he can say. So, pretty tactical move for the psychological standpoint for Joshua. Very smart player.
Yeah, gets a top 10 and then gives up. He knows he's peaked in this tournament, he's out.
We'll see. We'll see. We've already seen clutches from GBS. Like, I was convinced that GBS was choking and he wasn't going to actually win his own map. And then he comes in and just kind of...
Very good time.
Gets a very, very good time with like 1 minute left on the second map and put it into best of 3. And Joshua's kind of going to have to do the same thing.
Joshua is currently struggling to get up the first tube.
Yeah. A little unfortunate.
Green Void coming in for another time.
And Green Void did avoid a lot of... Or he didn't do a lot of shortcuts on his previous run. So this one might be an improvement. It actually looks like he's going way faster.
Yeah.
Oh my god! He just got a top 10! Oh boy.
GG, guys. Poor Josh.
Oh boy. So Green Void gets a top 10. For those that don't know, that is not a super common occurrence in Surf, especially when you only have 10 minutes to play a map. Yeah. That's something to note for the future if Green Void gets through here, which it's looking real. It's looking pretty much cemented. I really hope Joshua doesn't give up though. Like Joshua is very good. He pretty much obliterated Green Void on the first map, but unfortunately these next two maps were just not in his favor at all.
What was the first map, by the way? What was the first?
The first map in this best of 3 was Air Control.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a tier 1 map, and that kind of favors Joshua. He's very smooth and is extremely adept with lower tier maps. Whereas Green Void seems to be kind of the opposite, where he's more comfortable playing higher tier maps, at least in this particular matchup.
How was the third map decided? 3 maps are picked at random, and they both veto 1.
Yeah, it's a little bit... It's somewhat random, but it kind of makes it so the players can get rid of 1 map each that they really are not comfortable with to make it a little bit more fair. And yeah, that's why we're seeing this map again. It is kind of crazy that this map has been played twice in 6 games, but for those that don't know, the map pool for this tournament is very, very diverse. I believe there's 48 maps total, so you might not see this map again if you're not a fan.
I hope so.
You don't like this map?
No, I've never been a fan of this map.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
Stage 6 is just not for me. Especially with the shortcuts. Although I've seen no one do that so far. I'm not surprised.
I think Joshua's actually on pace to beat Green Void right now.
You'd have to pull out a big shortcut.
Well, the thing is, he's on pace to beat Green Void right now.
If he can pull the shortcut off.
He needs to pull the shortcut off. He went really high.
No.
He's not going fast enough.
Is
he?
It was a good time. No, I don't think.
Oh my god, both players got top 10s. That was so close. No way. He was 0.2 away from Green Void. If he didn't go too high on that last ramp, he could have won it. Hopefully Joshua is aware that he can complete this run. There's 10 seconds left.
He's suddenly gotten very eager. Look,
He needs to go.
Get up.
Oh, no!
No.
GG. Damn. Joshua almost pulling off a miracle.
I think
That would have been insane.
As soon as he got that rank 9, he realized actually he could do it, and he just went for it quickly. But